Center Heights Productions. It is January 7th, 2024. Uh, Reviewing the game from last night, which was just a couple hours ago. Okay, so if you could please first hit the likes and subscribes down below in the right hand corner, I'd muchly appreciate that. Really could use your support, and those who are supporting, I thank you very much, and Happy New Year to you all again. Okay, so this is a review of tonight's game, or last night's game, I should say now, because it's morning time here. The Rangers were in town to play the Habs, and of course, playing the number one team in the league, I didn't expect a good outcome. However, good bounce back after playing a real doozy of a game against the Sabres. We bounced back very nicely and played a real strong game against the Rangers. So the final score was 4-3. We won it in a shootout on a goal by Cole Caulfield, with Montembeault standing up and stopping all three shooters in the shootout. Started off with Suzuki for us, and Yolonen, who had quick beaten. However, he just missed on his shot, so it's like money in the bank in shootouts. He's got a lot of talent. Great deke he put on quick, just failed a bit on the shot. And Suzuki, I think Suzuki was going to his famous normal winning goal type thing in the shootout, but however, I think he should have realized he was up against Jonathan Quick, and that move was not going to the right, keeping it low. Jonathan Quick is far too good with stretching out the pads when you're going low on him. Always has been known for that. So I think a little bit of research, and Suzuki might have done something differently. But however, good solid game played by the boys. All four lines played well. I found a couple of lines played better than, one or two of them. However, strong game by all. We started off very strong. Montembeault stood on his head. He stole this game for us. That was the storyline. No, he stopped 45 shots of 48, and that was pretty darn good. That's just far too many shots to allow for the top team in the league. So Cole Caulfield, like I say, got the winning goal. Nice to see it in the shootout. But the night started off with a goal from Brendan Gallagher, and it was a beautiful, beautiful pass from Jake Evans. And what was nice about it was to see Gallagher would normally rush this and not get anything. However, he took his time and took a couple steps in, and it just wired a shot over the glove of Jonathan Quick. It was just a beautiful shot. Got his full body into that shot. It was old, a nice quality shot that we used to see from Galley back in the day. Kind of surprised us all, I would say, with that type of shot. And then we got a goal from Sean Monahan by a nice pass out from Yolonen, and he just wired it in as well, in the slot area and blocker side, I believe it was. And it kind of bounced. I think it bounced off Quick, oddly, and went in. But a nice shot. And then Yoel Armia got a good shot off, once again getting the third goal. And that's kind of been good to see coming from Armia. So, a couple games straight from him. However, and we had a 3-0 lead as the second period went on, because there was no scoring in the first period. As the second period went on, we started to weaken and started to bend. We started to unravel a bit, and we started giving up the blue line. And once we started giving up the blue line, that always seems to be where our trouble starts, is when we give up the blue line. We just back off and let the teams come in, and it cost us. And they were really coming on with some very nice plays, and we had a few miscues with our defense pairings. There was no real standout for me, other than I would have to say Barron didn't make a lot of any cough ups that I could see overall. Although we had some odd man rushes, but I thought he played better in that department. I think Gooley coughed up a couple of pucks that I didn't like seeing him cough up. He's going to have to settle himself down a bit and get back to Gooley play. He played well, but can play better than what he did and has in the last couple of games. And very undisciplined with 2 penalties that you just can't have against the Rangers. So, with that being said, in the Rangers uh, process, Trocheck and Panarin each had a goal uh, and an assist in their role of coming back on the Habs in the second period. Then Adam Fox tied the game in the third period midway. Jonathan Quick had a solid game after those 3 goals. He looked pretty sharp, made 27 stops. However, in the third period, we showed some resiliency and played a much better period than we did in the second half of the second especially. But the third, we showed resiliency and we were really coming on and we just fired a lot of shots off the post. We had a good opportunity with Slab, but he had a couple of Rangers over him, so he really didn't get the shot off. It was almost on a breakaway. And Evans rang one off the post with an open net in the third period there. That was just, it was just so hard to watch because he had the open net. However, that's the way it went. And so the game opened with Galley's goal, which was, like I said, just a beautiful shot. He had a strong game. So, so that was the way that went. Then we're going to give you some stats here. Montembeault, number 1, was the first start easily. It was an easy choice. There was no question or any doubt that he would be the first starter. He really stood on his head, played quite exceptional. He had some iffy goals, but they were more on his team in front of him than they were on him. And Panarin was the second star with 1 goal, 1 assist. He had a good game. I found Lafreniere was one of the stronger players for the Rangers, so I was a little surprised he wasn't picked. Then Caulfield got the third star at a -1, whereas he got the shootout winner. And I think that's how the way they did it. So here's how the game starts. We did score in the first. Sorry, we scored with Brendan Gallagher in the first period. We had a goal from him, assisted by Evans and Savard. Second period, we got a second goal. That was 11:37 in the first. Second period, we had a nice goal. That nice goal from Monahan from Elonen. Beautiful setup, and he made no mistake. Joel Armia assisted by Mitchell Stevens and Pizzetta. Nice looking goal. So we had a 3-0 lead then, and that was at 2:39 of the second, our third goal. And then at 10:28, this was the second half of the period where they just really started mounting an attack. But we were giving up the blue line at this point. Vincent Trocheck gets his goal, assisted by Gustafsson and Panarin. 14:29, Panarin gets a goal, and this really puts. And Vincent Trocheck had a really solid game as well. And he got an assist on that. So that put it at 3-2 going into the third. And of course, Fox scores, assisted by Vesey and Cooley. And so that was 3-3. We had so many, really looked, we had so many chances in the third. And it had just a lot of bad luck and bringing shots off the post. So, but we were outplaying them again. Anyway, shootout starts with Suzuki getting stopped. Panarin got stopped. Caulfield scores. Zibanejad gets stopped. Yolonen gets stopped, but had quick beat. Just missed on his shot, but he did such a nice deke job, and Lafreniere was stopped, and that's what gave the win with Monty stopping all three of their shooters. 48 shots to 30, just far too many shots given up. Uh, and 17 hits to 15 for the Rangers. 25 face-offs apiece. 0 for 3 on the power play for the Rangers, which is shocking. 0 for 2, so our penalty kill played much better tonight. And 0 for 2 on the power play for us. Penalty minutes 4 to 6 for us. Giveaways 17 apiece. Takeaways 6-3 for the Rangers. Block shots 14 to 25 for the Habs. Just a wonderful job in helping the barrage that was coming from the Rangers. Caden Goulet, like I said, I wasn't impressed with the 2 penalties he took tonight. 1 for tripping in the first period. We had Kreider get 1 in the second for hooking, and Suzuki took a stupid high stick penalty with the lack of control of his stick. Turn out to watch their discipline and carelessness. Third period, Goulet takes another hooking penalty. Just with some foolish mistakes. He can do better than that. And Keandre took a penalty in overtime for holding his stick. Problem with that overtime penalty, there was only like 11 seconds of a power play, which was pretty sad. We came close, but just not long enough time on that power play. So very well hard fought. Good game by the Habs. They stuck together, fought very hard, and the lines were the usual. Suzuki, Caulfield, and Slav, which played well, had their moments. I think they let off at different times, though. So they were kind of on and off, but they do look good together. There's no doubt about that. That you don't want to mess with that line. Line 2 had Galley and Evans and Anderson. This line's been looking half decent. Evans a little quieter tonight, same with Anderson. But Galley was fairly the strongest player on line 2. The only thing I wish with Galley is that he could get his game to improve in the defensive zone. I find that he loses too many board battles when he's in his defensive zone. But his offensive game is horrendous. He plays very well, winning puck battles in the opposition zone and causing friction. Emil Heineman had his first game back with Monahan. They had really good looks together, and Alonen. That line looked good. And I think the more time that goes on, it'll be even better. Would have liked to seen Heineman use the body more, but he was firing the puck beautifully, and you could see there was something. There was a good connection with him and Monty. I think that's something to build off of. The Pizzetta Stevens Armia line looked good. Again, that produced another goal. I wish with Pizzetta again, he comes out with a couple big hits in the beginning of the game, and then he starts to die off as the game goes, and then you get the odd hit out of him. He's got to get a consistent game from him. That's my knock with him. Uh, just got to put more consistency like he was last year. It's nice to see the big hits early and get you going, but it's got to go on all night long. Stevens played a fairly strong game and killing penalties as well. And their pairings, I still say, there's a lot to be desired with Matheson and Savard Matt pairing. Um, it's one doesn't have speed, the other makes a lot of defensive zone mistakes. With Matheson, he makes a lot of mistakes. Yes, he's better than Jeff Petrie, but there are a lot of complaints on him as well. Goulet and Barron line, there was also a little bit of juggling, whereas you would see Goulet out with Savard at times and Barron with Struble at times, and Harris would all they kind of rotated. These pairings didn't stay the same. Struble, again, he came up with a couple big hits, and then he got beat. Started getting beat in foot with foot speed started having some issues. So there seems to be some signs of some chinks in his game. With this game and the Sabres game, not as solid as the rest of his games were. Harris had an average game. I don't think anybody was outstanding on defense tonight. Uh, I like the block shots. I like what Savard does that way, but I find that pairing seems to be out for a lot of goals. And sometimes it was Gooley with Savard as well. I thought that happened on one goal. So I think, like I say, there's a lot of work to be done with the defenseman. And finding that right groove seems to be a hard thing right now. But a well fought game, they at least pulled it back together. They definitely bent, but didn't break. Thank God there was resiliency. And when the third period came, even though it was got tied, they did manage to hang on and fight back. And they really should have won the game in regulation with the amount of shots they threw on net. At least they were firing the puck, and that's what I liked about Emil Heineman. He was firing shots at the net quite a bit when he had the opportunity, especially I'd say the first half of the game. So yeah, good strong showing, but Sam Montembeault just really stole this game. There's no ifs and buts. Uh, yeah, he just played so exceptionally strong for them. So very good, solid game. Was impressed, quite impressed. They showed a lot of fight, and again, they're 500. They're shocking me. Uh, there's no doubt in my mind. I mean, I'm sitting here wanting them to tank. However, I think Marty has different plans, and I think he's just really trying to get many wins out of them as he can. I think that he's not looking at it the way some of us fans or even the organization may be looking at it. He wants to win. There's no doubt that they're showing good character. That's for sure. Well fought games. They do have their odd doozies like they did with Buffalo. There's no doubt about it. But anyway, with that being said, that's where we stand. And Wednesday night will be their next game with them going to Philadelphia. That should be a doozy. With Tortorella behind there, and he's got his players bought in. That could be a tough game. I'm projecting a 4-2 victory for the Flyers. However, you never. And I think it's because they're so big and strong, and Tortorella's style is a hit, crash, and bang type of game. And I find we have weaknesses with that. So with that being said, thank you for joining me. Where's the puck drop first? Here at Center Ice. Please leave your comments. Be interested in hearing them. And until the next game, we shall catch you then. And where's the puck drop first? Here at Center Ice. God bless you. Please like and subscribe. Muchly appreciated. God bless.